right, America250 is burying a 900-pound time capsule today in Philadelphia. It won't be opened for another 250 years. But we can tell you it's filled with items from all 50 states and all U.S. territories, from a copy of the Constitution signed by all of the Supreme Court justices to a Coca-Cola bottle. Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram is live in Philadelphia with more. Hey, Chad.
Emily, good afternoon. Well, the ceremony commemorating 250 years is really about 500 years. They will open this time capsule in the year 2276, and that's why today is not just about where we've been, but where we are going.
Today, we're not simply celebrating the past. We are speaking to the future. When this time capsule here to my left is open 250 years, but in a real sense, our voices will be. The Americans of 2276.
Multiple governors wrote letters for the time capsule. Alaska sent its state flag. Arkansas offered a diamond from the crater of Diamond State Park. And Iowa submitted a space station medallion. That's for Peggy Whitson, the first female commander of the International Space Station. But some items failed to make the cut.
Well, a New York Knicks championship ring would be incredible, and perhaps even a World Cup for Team USA, which remains to be seen what happens, but they're on their way.
Some items inside the capsule could spark interest and scholarship. There's hope the capsule intrigues people in the future to study why certain things were important to us today.
I think a lot of times that when you start peeling back the onion, you're like, wow, that was really incredible. I didn't know this person did X. I think that's the opportunity for that discovery.
Now, it will certainly be cooler in the ground with the time capsule. The high today in Philadelphia, 102. But a lot cooler here 250 years ago. You know, Thomas Jefferson, he was pretty maniacal about keeping weather records. And one reading that he took on July 4th, 1776, around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 76 degrees. Very apropos.
Isn't it, though, Chad? All right, now tell us, what is the most interesting item, do you think, that's in the time capsule?
Well, I think one of the things that California sent in, they sent in an AI Claude prompt about what it thought that the United States would look like in 2050. We don't know what it came up with because it's in the time capsule. And something they could not put inside the time capsule was a football. The reason is that the leather from the football would degrade over 250 years.
Well, that football better have come from the former Oakland Raiders, but I don't think it did. That's okay. All right, guys, thank you so much, and stay cool out there, Chad. All right, we're going to talk about it a little bit on the couch. So, all right, Kaylee, we talked about this sort of in jest in a commercial break. What would we put in the time capsule if we could? What's something that you would put in?
I would put in a revolving series of clips of Charlie Kirk. And when I think about America250, I think about his love of country, his love of Christianity. It's something that I think 250 years from now, if we were broadcasting out, I would say, listen to this man, listen to what he said, listen to how faith is at the center of our nation. He said just before he passed to Lawrence Jones and Fox and Friends, he thought we were on the precipice of a Christian revival in this country, and I believe his assassination spearheaded that. So I would put his infinite wisdom and all those who have listened and all the lives he's changed in his unfortunate death in that time capsule. Make heaven crowded was his goal, and he has done just that. And there's no more worthy thing to put in a time capsule.
That's beautiful. Aisha.
Well, I was going to do a comedic take on this, but that was really sincere and heartfelt. I was going to say, first of all, we should have put a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke in there, because who the heck is still drinking a regular Coke?
That's a good point.
Also, yep. I would put in just like an iPhone. I mean, we live on these devices, so I would have put in a bunch of different gadgets that we just like use every single day, so that in 200 years or whatever they open it, they can laugh at us.
Yes.
You know what I'm still fascinated about is when you travel the country, I'm still amazed that, 250 years in, that you still go to the Carolinas and you go to Alabama and you have different accents. People have different accents in New England than they do in Seattle and they do in California, and it's amazing. I would try to go around the world and get different accents of different people, and then 250 years from now, see if it's still like that. I know it was 250 years ago, but it seems unusual that we still have all these different nuances.
Love that.
That was cool.
Okay, yeah, so this isn't as deep. I'm just going to preface it, especially, I'm so glad I didn't have to go right after Kayla.
Serious.
Okay, did anyone catch that Chad Pergram said that, so we put a Coca-Cola in the time capsule, right? But you couldn't put a football because the leather would degrade after 250 years. So the Coca-Cola is fine in 250 years, but a leather football is not.
Maybe because it's in
we're
glass.
drinking?
It's in glass.
I don't know, or like what?
We have to go.
But is that not like a
I don't know
little-
if it's drinkable in 250 years.
I know, but like you would think something would happen to it. It would like combust.
I would put in a bottle of my family's wine because that will taste amazing.
What am I?
Aged perfectly.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.